Today we're going to be talking about developing our breath and anchoring deeper in our body. Many people are anchored very high up in their body, and one of the first things I wanted to do in this program was help people improve the quality of their breath and improve the quality of how their mind functions. The most foundational quality that we want to develop within our breath is the quality of abdominal breathing. Now, conventionally, you might see this in various types of yoga and breathing exercises where they create a contrived version of abdominal breathing, and that's not what I'm going to be teaching you today. We're going to be talking about anchoring our breath deeper in the body, and that is developed through certain qualities that we want to develop in our mind and in the quality of our breath. What this does is it assures that the body is able to relax. When you're not relaxed, when you're running on fight or flight, a lot of that energy tends to get anchored higher up in the body. And so our goal is to first learn how to relax. When we can relax, then the mind is able to grow quiet. And then as those two qualities begin to develop, the energy is able to then sink and anchor deeper in our body. As we regulate our breath, we also regulate our emotional mind. And as we regulate our emotional mind, we also bring regulation to our breath. So as we cultivate some of these inner qualities and we begin developing our listening skills, we're going to find that there's a lot more nuance and detail attached to the quality of our breath and the way that we breathe. Someone who is very stressed, has too much going on in their head, always in fight or flight, their breath is going to be anchored high up in their body. You're going to find that they're breathing more in their chest. As we begin to release, we're going to learn how to anchor that deeper in the body. Abdominal breathing is not something we do. It is not an action. We are not breathing with our abdomen. It is a quality that must arise from our practice and from the qualities developed in our mind. In order to develop these qualities, we have to study the activity of the mind in the body. And we have to develop qualities within those that allow abdominal breathing to arise. Abdominal breathing arises when the body is efficient and it has enough energy and it is functioning well, and the mind is calm. The focal point of our breath, instead of being anchored high in the body, will become anchored much deeper in the body as these qualities arise. Deliberate breathing, deliberate abdominal breathing, contrived intentional breathing, which you might see in various other pranayama, Wim Hof, holotropic type breathing methods where you are controlling your breath. These types of breathing methods create energetic and physical stagnation. When you just move the body and the energy and mind do not follow, you don't allow the energy to sink and anchor deeper in the body. This creates a separation. Our goal is to develop these qualities so that they arise naturally in the way that we breathe, in the way that our mind works on a daily basis. With abdominal breathing, there are 5 qualities that naturally arise in sequence through this practice. The first quality is that of quiet. The breath and the mind must become quiet. When we are breathing, there is a texture and rhythm to the way that we breathe. You can bring your attention to this texture and rhythm, and that can give you a huge indication of the state of your nervous system. As the quality of abdominal breathing arises, you achieve a state of quiet, of calm. This does not mean that your mind is empty. This does not mean you have achieved a perfection in your sitting practice. If you have been training your sitting practice up until this point for at least a week, you will find that you're beginning to develop these certain qualities to discipline and control your mind. As you become more disciplined in your mind, these qualities of quiet will continue to arise. Out of quiet, as you have developed the quality of quiet, the quality of deep, the second quality, will arise. This arises out of quiet as the breath sinks deeper into the body and anchors. So both your mind and your breath sink deeper into the body as a result of quiet. Focusing on achieving quiet will allow the second quality of deep to arise. It is important that as these qualities arise, that we are aiming for quiet, but we are not controlling the function of our mind and our breath. We are allowing these qualities to arise naturally. The third quality is at ease. At ease is a result of quiet and deep being generated and staying. So as we have anchored our breath deeper in our body, as we have achieved quiet and calm in our breath and mind, and we are able to maintain that outside of our practice, the quality of at ease will evolve naturally. These do not get lost after our practice. As at ease continues to expand, the fourth quality can develop. And this fourth quality is called slow or gradual. We don't slow our breath on purpose. The pace of the breath is controlled by the body. The body breathes. I simply observe. So it's important that we are not trying to contrive our breath. We are trying to allow these types of qualities to naturally evolve as a result of our practice. The fifth quality is soft. And this is a little bit more complicated. The quality of soft arises out of the quality of slow and gradual. So as our body sinks, as our mind sinks, as our body releases, that allows the energy to also sink deeper into the body. As the energy sinks deeper into the body, certain internal transformations begin to happen in the tissue. It feels as though maybe cotton is moving through and mobilizing the tissue on the inside. Again, this is not something that we do. This is a quality that arises naturally as a result of achieving the first four qualities of breath. Once you have achieved these five qualities, now abdominal breathing has been achieved. Abdominal breathing is not something that we do. It is not an action. Achieving it can be done through a fairly simple exercise, though the actual success will take some time to develop. So now I'm going to take you through the process of developing abdominal breathing, and you're going to allow your energy to sink deeper in the body. And what we're going to start with is simply sitting down. You can sit on a chair like I am now. You can sit in a Burmese sitting position. It's important that we sit upright. If we compress and sit down and hunch, you end up compressing your diaphragm and creating tension in your midsection. So it's important that we sit upright. So we're almost having our head hung from a fish hook, allowing our spine to elongate. We're sitting up tall. You can have your hands resting on your legs. From here, I want you to bring your attention to your nostrils and to your breath. I want you to allow the body to breathe on its own. We are not going to control the breath. We are not going to use intention to direct the breath. We are simply going to provide our nurturing attention to the quality of the breath and the position of the breath in the body. So begin breathing in and out through your nose, bringing your attention to the nostrils. Feeling the sensation of the air at your own pace as it moves in and out of the nose. Continue to inhale through the nose, maintaining your attention on the nostrils, not controlling the breath, noticing the texture of the breath as it moves in and out of your nostrils. Now, we're going to move our awareness back inside of our body. So you're going to move it into the sinus area, the back of the throat. And so now we're not going to have our attention on the nostrils. We're moving our attention into the sinuses in the back of our throat, and we're going to maintain our attention in that area as we allow our body to breathe naturally. Just allowing the mind to calm down, allowing the quality of quiet to be achieved in the body, allowing the body to relax, resting our attention and our awareness in the sinus area. And now on the next breath, we are going to expand our awareness so that it holds the area of our nostrils and the sinuses. So as you breathe, your awareness is going to expand to hold the sensations in the nostrils, the sensations in the sinuses. Allowing your body to just breathe on its own, not controlling, not trying to slow it down, not trying to hold your breath. Allow your body to breathe in whatever rhythm it's breathing in. If you have some breaths that stutter, if you have some breaths that are smooth, if you have some breaths that are deep, that is all right. We are merely paying attention and nurturing our breath. Paying attention, resting our awareness in the nostrils and the back of the sinuses. And now we're going to move our awareness down to the middle of our throat, holding our awareness only in the middle of the throat for now. Allowing ourselves to rest our attention there as our body breathes. If you're having trouble finding the sensations, that's okay. Just rest your mind in that region. We don't need to contrive anything. We don't need to worry about it. Don't let your mind wander. Just rest your awareness there as best you can. Your ability to maintain stability there will improve. And once again, expanding that awareness out to hold the nostrils, the sinuses, and the throat as you inhale. Almost as if a energetic balloon is holding that space. Again, we're not contriving this. We're not trying to create sensation. We're merely holding our awareness and our attention across that area. Now moving our awareness down once more, down to our heart center. You might get stuck a little bit above that, that's all right. But we want to move that a little bit behind our sternum. So we want to try to not rest our awareness on the surface of the body, but trying to get our awareness behind the rib cage, behind the sternum. Will you hit that, please?
Oh,
It's my watch.
I didn't even hear it.
My watch went off. So now we are resting our awareness behind the sternum only, and we're just allowing our breath to naturally develop the way that it's going to develop. We are not trying to move energy. We're not trying to pull anything into our sternum. We are merely resting our awareness in that area as our body breathes. You might find that as you do this, a lot of heat will start to be generated. That's okay. That means energy is coming into the body. You might not feel anything at all. That's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Again, expanding our awareness to hold the nostrils, the sinus cavity, the throat, and now the heart. Remember, behind the sternum and deep into the throat as you breathe in and exhale. Allow the breath to slow. Allow the energy to sink. Allow the body to relax. Again, we're not trying to develop any of these things. We're not trying to make anything happen. We're just releasing. And resting our awareness. Now moving our attention and our awareness down to the solar plexus area, a little bit below the rib cage, above the belly button. Just resting our awareness there as we breathe. Again, not trying to make the body move in a certain way, not trying to get the diaphragm to do something or the ribs to do something. All we are doing is resting our attention in that area of the body. If you can get your awareness behind the surface level of the skin, moving it into the body, that is better. But simply resting your awareness in the solar plexus area. And then once more expanding out so that you hold the nostrils, the sinuses, the throat, the heart, and now the solar plexus. Trying to breathe into that entire area. Well, not trying to breathe into that entire area, just holding your awareness in that entire area and allowing the breath to move through it. We are not trying to control the body here. We are just allowing these qualities to naturally develop. Holding our awareness in the nostrils, the sinuses, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, allowing this sensation of sinking to just develop. Noticing when the mind wants to bounce around or bounce back up higher in the body and just bringing it back down. And now, moving the mind down into the perineum. It's important that you pull your awareness back from the front of the perineum, more towards the center, or even closer to the back. It's possible that you can get sexually aroused if you have your mind a little bit too far forward. The kidney furnace is anchored down in the perineum, so it's possible that as you breathe into this area, you'll start to produce a lot more heat. That is all right. We don't need to pay attention to that right now. All we are doing is breathing into the perineum as best we can. It's okay if you're having trouble sinking your mind down there. With practice, you'll be able to get deeper and deeper into the body. Just resting your attention into the perineum. And now expanding out so that you're holding the entire channel from the nostrils down to the perineum on the inside of the body, not along the spine, but on the inside of the body. Allowing this quality of abdominal breathing to continually develop as your breath gets deeper and you feel more at ease. The breath will slow down. We do not need to slow it down ourselves. Resting the mind into the perineum. This is a practice that you'll want to repeat fairly frequently. You're welcome to do it before you do the sitting practice, as it will help and work co-creatively with that. It is also extremely important for some of our energy cultivation practices that we're going to do in the weeks to come. If we can't anchor our mind and our energy and our breath deeply enough in the body, we're not going to actually be able to get it to start producing more energy. So as you can see, as soon as we started to actually allow our mind, energy, and breath to get lower in the body, you started to have new sensations arise. If your breath is anchored and your mind is anchored too high, we end up separating our mind and energy, and this can create other issues. So the more that we can anchor our breath, the more that we can anchor our mind and bring these 5 qualities into our breath, the more we're going to be able to build on that in weeks to come. There are other qualities of breathing beyond abdominal breathing. Those will arise naturally out of the qualities of abdominal breathing that we've already developed here. So we want to develop quiet. We want to allow the quiet to turn into deep breath. Out of deep breath comes at ease, where we can maintain our deep anchoring outside of our practice. That will also turn into slow and gradual, so that our body releases and opens up, allows for slower and more gradual breath, without us needing to go back to controlling our breath. That then allows the tissues inside to begin to mobilize and reshape. This will be a really foundational exercise that we're going to use in a lot of our other practices. I'm not going to guide you through anchoring the breath, because I'm hoping that within the first couple of weeks, you will continue to develop the quality of anchored breath, so that as we do the other exercises and start training the energy where to collect, these will all work co-creatively and help you begin to build more and more energy in your body, and also begin to build valuable qualities in how your mind and breath work. Hope you enjoyed this.